Good Friday morning, and thank you for joining us here on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Jason Hackett. Right now, extra patrols are out in Minneapolis after more than 120 car break-ins were reported in a 5-day span. Authorities say 124 cars had their windows smashed between October 9th and October 13th. So take a look at this map. These are the areas where the break-ins happened, stretching from north to south Minneapolis, including neighborhoods like Powderhorn Park, Weber Camden, Falwell, Lowry Hill, and Whittier. On the last day alone, 70 cars were hit. We spoke to one couple in the Standish neighborhood who tells us this is the second time this year they've had their cars vandalized. Though they say nothing was taken from the car, they were left with a huge repair bill, paying over $2,000 the first time and $2,500 this time around.
Everybody's got insurance, and the reality is that the people's windows are being smashed end up paying a lot because it's not considered an accident, or you were going to have a large deductible.
At this time, no arrests have been made. Today in Washington, D.C., President Trump is preparing to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. That's a day after Trump announced he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin again. In today's meeting, Zelensky is expected to urge Trump to sell Tomahawk missiles that would allow Ukraine to attack deeper in Russia. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest.
President Trump wading back into negotiations over the Ukraine war.
We want to stop the killing. 7,000 people a week. Can you believe it? We want to stop the killing.
The fighting in Ukraine has only intensified in the 2 months since the last Trump-Putin summit in Alaska. And the president has repeatedly voiced frustration with Putin for keeping up the attacks.
I'm very disappointed in him. Because I thought this would have been an easy one to settle.
Frustration sometimes directed at Zelensky, too, who is expected today to press for long-range Tomahawk missiles that would help Ukraine strike deep into Russia.
I don't know what we can do about that.
President Trump citing American need.
We can't deplete for our country. So, they're very vital. They're very powerful.
Russia has warned any Tomahawk transfer would significantly damage U.S.-Russia relations, though Zelensky said he believes the threat of the weapons had forced Moscow to resume negotiations. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening right now, former National Security Advisor to President Donald Trump, John Bolton, appearing in court to face charges of mishandling classified documents. This comes a day after being indicted on 18 counts by a grand jury. Bolton is accused of sharing more than 1,000 pages of diary-like entries that contained classified and top-secret information. Bolton was a security advisor during Trump's first administration, but since leaving the White House has been an adamant critic of the president. Bolton is now the third high-profile Trump political opponent to be indicted in less than a month. Meanwhile, at the Capitol, the Senate failed a 10th time to approve a spending bill to reopen the government. Republicans are still pushing for a short-term solution, while Democrats fight for health care changes.
The American people are in a crisis in health care. And we are fighting for them. We are on their side. The American people are seeing that we are on their side, doing everything we can to get the Republicans to negotiate and address this crisis.
There are debates and discussions going on our side of the aisle and on theirs, but to get everybody together and build that consensus is not possible until we get the government operating again and we stop holding. I get very upset about that. We stop holding the American people hostage for these ridiculous political games.
The senators have left D.C. for the weekend with no votes expected until Monday. This morning, a Twin Cities man who's been arrested more than 30 times will be sentenced for his latest crime. In the latest incident, Jonas Abay led police down a multi-city chase after stealing a truck from a parking lot in April of 2023. And all of that just 2 hours after he was released from jail. Michelle Beck tells us more.
Yeah, that was his latest offense that put him in prison for the 35th time. He pleaded guilty to the 3 felony charges associated with that single incident. And you can see that in action right here. It's April 2023. Jonas Abay is behind the wheel of that red truck. He stole it from a Menards parking lot, then led police down this chase, crossing city lines and busy intersections. And again, he did all this after he just got out of jail for his 34th time. That was when he posted a $5,000 bond on DWI, drug and stolen property charges. This was the Ramsey County Undersheriff back in 2023.
We have repeat offenders like this that put the public in danger, we have to hold them accountable.
Yeah, and this morning the court calendar shows that there are 5 separate but related cases that Bay will be seeing a judge for. He will be sentenced by a judge on that 35th arrest. Back to you.
Michelle, thank you. Today, a former Minnesota Teacher of the Year convicted of sexually abusing his student who was 14 years old at the time will be sentenced. Abdul Wright was charged in May after the victim's mother said her daughter was assaulted in Wright's 8th grade class at Harvest Best Academy. He was named Teacher of the Year back in 2016. That is when the victim's mother said the abuse began. Wright will now likely face 12 to 14 years in prison. Right now, a woman is waking up in jail starting a 4-year sentence for crashing her car into an Amish buggy that killed 2 children inside. The incident happened near Rochester in 2023. Authorities say Samantha Peterson was driving an SUV when she struck a buggy carrying 4 children on their way to school. A judge sentenced the woman in Fillmore County yesterday after she pled guilty in July that she was high on meth during the crash. Her twin sister, Sarah, who was a passenger of that SUV during the crash, recently finished a prison sentence after she admitted to trying to convince police that she was actually the one driving. The federal government may still be closed, but that hasn't stopped Medicare enrollment from opening this week. It's a big deal here in Minnesota, but this year it's also a big pain, especially for those looking for a Medicare Advantage plan. Kent Erdahl is breaking down why.
Please stay on the line.
If you're looking for help finding a Medicare Advantage plan in Minnesota,
Your position in the queue is 65.
you'll need to get in line.
Yesterday, we saw 2,000 calls. Our normal call volume is about 200 to 300 calls a day during the rest of the year. So this for us is a huge call volume increase. It's the largest increase we've ever seen in the history of our service, and we've been around since 1993.
For the staff at Minnesota Aging Pathways, which helps seniors navigate their Medicare options, the wait is far from the worst of it.
We are hearing a lot of anxiety. It ranges from pure anger to tears. It's really a range of extremes that we are hearing from Medicare beneficiaries in Minnesota. It's a tough year on Medicare beneficiaries and on Minnesota Aging Pathways.
Kelly Jo Greiner says everyone was caught off guard 2 weeks ago when they learned that average premiums for Medicare Advantage plans are set to increase by 18% next year.
People did not expect to see that. So we are seeing people that previously never looked at reviewing plans before, and they looked at their premiums and went, whoa, I got to look at some other options.
Unfortunately, there are fewer options as well, especially after UCare announced that it will no longer offer Medicare Advantage plans, impacting 158,000 Minnesotans.
So we're trying to help those folks because they are losing their entire benefit under Medicare Advantage as of January 1st. There also are counties where Medicare Advantage plans have pulled out of. We're helping those folks. It's just a very, very busy, somewhat chaotic year.
And that was before they learned that Mayo Clinic will also be going out of network for most Medicare Advantage plans offered by United Healthcare and Humana.
To see these options changing is leaving a lot of people very concerned, very nervous, and as a result, they too are looking at changing plans this year for 2026 so they can continue to go to the Mayo Clinic if they have that relationship already established.
But Kelly Jo says don't panic. 2 insurers still do have Mayo in network, and despite the wait right now, she says Minnesota Aging Pathways will eventually be able to help everyone find the right fit.
We just want people to really kind of take a deep breath and just realize you have plenty of time to make that decision. You don't have to do it all right now.
In a statement yesterday, Mayo Clinic acknowledged the out-of-network changes for some plans, encouraging patients to check their coverage and network before enrolling. United Healthcare, however, didn't say much about what led to the decision. Well, if you're looking for work, Amazon just opened a new facility in Golden Valley, and they are hiring right now. We got our first inside look. The same-day facilities like this one allow Amazon to deliver items within 2 to 5 hours. Amazon says there are more than 1 million products on site, the most common things being food, health, and beauty items. This is Amazon's second same-day facility in the Twin Cities. The other is over in Brooklyn Park. Amazon says the new warehouse will double the selection of available items.
So this site will cover about 800 square miles, up 2 to 5 hour delivery. But now there's going to be more options online for our customers to get those, including grocery at the site.
It will mainly serve the South Metro and both the Minneapolis and St. Paul downtown areas. During peak season, which is Thanksgiving through Christmas, Amazon expects to deliver more than 50,000 items per day from this location. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up right after the break.